right, day 7. Live streaming. I haven't been live streaming every day, but I'm live streaming today. Day 7 of 100 Days of Code. Working on these front-end projects and learning how to use this clasp tool with Google Apps Script. So this is really a Google Apps Scripting live coding session. Little by little, I'm trying to figure out exactly how this works. I moved all of my components into one project, so all the AppScript files will be in here. Now, I tried to start breaking things out into different classes, and I already realized one thing, that the name of the class can't be the same as the name of the file. So that caused me some problems there. And so what I'm doing here is shifting off, I'm converting some values into an object from the spreadsheet. So let me go ahead and open the spreadsheet itself. I just called the whole thing front-end projects, and all the data for this web page will be hosted in this spreadsheet. And I've already seem to have lost. Oh, it's on a different account. Interesting. I got to open up. Drive front. Always got to have the right account open. So these front-end projects, which sheets do I have created so far? Let me go ahead and create all of them. So I've got a tribute page, product landing page, survey form, and logs. Let me go ahead and start up the local host and browse to localhost 3000. All right, there we go. This index page should probably look a little bit better, but we're not going to worry about that. We've got a survey form, tribute page, product landing page, product landing, and then I created this. This is not actually going to provide any data. I'm just going to log errors and stuff to this. And let me go ahead and hide it. All right, so what else do I need to create here? What other pages do I have? I want to have technical documentation, random quotes, Pomodoro clock. Okay. Call it Pomodoro timer. And random quotes. And technical documentation. What else do we have here? Drum machine, markdown preview, calculator. The drum machine, I'm going to use files on Drive, so I don't think I need to keep a spreadsheet of that. Markdown preview, I'm going to use files from Drive. And calculator. Let's create a calculator page. Now, for every page, I want to create a class that's going to extend these values It's so interesting that this type is not correct here. The red line really bothers me, and I don't quite know how to fix that. What if I just declare this as an object? Oh wait, do I want to do lowercase object? I think I do. I'm pretty sure. That's another thing we need open. Type script docs. It's another thing. I think it tells you to use the lowercase versions. Where's the do's and don'ts? Yeah. Instead of object, use non-primitive object. Yep, that's what we want. Yeah, it says don't ever use the types number, string, boolean, or object. These types refer to non-primitive boxed objects that are almost never used appropriately in JavaScript code. So once, instead of using the non-primitives, yeah, okay. So what I'm understanding from that is don't use the uppercase version. I don't know, what does this mean? I gotta look that up. JavaScript, non-primitive data types. Let's go to, yep, there we go. Programming languages all have built-in data structures, but these often differ from one language to another. This article attempts to list the built-in data structures. Yes, okay, we know that. Dynamic typing. JavaScript is loosely typed. And, okay. It can be reassigned. 6 data types that are primitives: Boolean, null, undefined, number, string, symbol, object. So these are primitives, object is not. Primitive values. All types except objects define immutable values, values that are incapable of being changed. For example, and unlike C, strings are immutable. We refer to values of these types as primitive values. Okay. I think what it's meaning is that, so the non-primitives are these lowercase versions that are part of TypeScript, I think is what they're telling me. I think that's what I'm learning here. Okay, well, we're gonna just go with it there. So we can start actually working with stuff in the code editor. Let's get some code written. So if I save that, the red underline goes away. If I just give it the object type, which that's fine, we can work with that. Okay, so what I want to do, so this function I'm going to have to use on multiple classes. And in fact, why don't, instead of calling this product landing page, maybe I can just have a reusable class. Yeah, I can just have a reusable class, and we'll just call this I don't know, sheets. Sheets is probably already type. Oh, but it's no. Okay, let's just call it I don't know, sheet data, because it's gonna be getting the sheet. Sheet values. Don't spend so much time on this. It's 8:15. I haven't had enough coffee to call it sheet values class. And then in code, I don't want this. Okay. So in my do-get here, let's call it sheet values. Pass it to sheet, and yeah, I can just call it landing page. Landing page type values. Okay, so I can do the same thing for the tribute page. Let's pass it. Let's call it const tribute page equals new sheet values. Pass it to sheet, and then we want to return and that should give us the exact same result. Let's open this up and clasp push. Is that right? I believe it is. Manifest file has been updated. Yes, I do want to push and overwrite, but has it been updated? Let's use it deploying. Let's just take a look before we deploy everything. When you open up the script editor, see, it shouldn't be product landing class. I changed the name. Let's try again. Didn't give me an error. Oh, did I change? I did change this. Okay. Guys, it seems like in the script editor, it's always one version behind, which is a little tricky. All right, let's do some tests here. No sheet name provided. That's fine. We know that's going to be true. Let's do. What happens if we put a blank sheet in here? What happens if we put the blank sheet? Where am I? Sorry. think it's not going to like that. Just get hello world. Default return content hello world. So here is where I'm, yeah, okay, that makes sense. All right, because I don't have any, I'm just getting hello world. All right, so I can remove some of this commented out code. Let's go in and do the calculator page, just because I have the front end built to that. I did that already. Let's just calc page equals new, sheet values, sheet. I could almost, I don't even really need, why am I, if it's going to be the same for everyone, am I going to have different functionality? I could almost, repeating code, and that is very not dry, but let me leave it this way for a second. Because here we want to actually post some stuff. This is going to go to the calc page. Oh, calculator. And here we're going to write to this. So value. This is how we want to get the values. How can we? Let's see. Maybe just write row. I'll just call it write. Send it some data. It's going to be an object. Is that right? Yeah, let's write an object. Return. Is it going to return anything? I don't know, success message. Create an interface for that. Status, it's going to be string, message, string. It's got to return a value, so it's telling me that I haven't returned anything yet. So what if I just return success, okay. Is that gonna work? Why doesn't it like that? Success string, message string is not assignable to type success message. Object literal may only specify known properties, and success does not exist on type success message. Oh, because I did status. See, there's where typing actually really helps out. So I actually need to pass it the. Oh no, because when it constructs, we're passing in the sheet. That's fine. So here I want to take this dot sheet dot. Let's get headers, and we'll do that by just getting range. I want to get row 1, column 1, 1 row, and number of columns. We want to do this dot sheet dot get last column. And once we have that range, we want to get values, and we want to shift off, because it's going to be a multi-dimensional array. Get values returns multi-dimensional array. You can see that here. And we're just going to shift off the very first one. We're going to call it headers. Now I had to declare headers an object up here. I'm going to do the same thing here. But it's not. It's really an array. Is TypeScript going to have a problem with that? Well, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. We'll find out. Who knows? The error is... Oh, hey, somebody commented in the chat room. Hi, Eric. I hope so. I've been not able to save it on some days, but I think I've got that figured out now. So it should be saved on YouTube, almost like immediately after this is done. So you should be able to watch this. If you want to watch somebody stumble their way through learning TypeScript, you're more than welcome to come and watch me do that. Okay, so I'm grabbing the headers there. I want to turn the data, which is going to be an object. I got to turn that into rows, right? So when in Google Apps Script, when you grab a range, so I want to get range, I want to get the last row. So in this case, I want to get, no, actually I can just, here I'll just append row. But how do I get the values, which will be in an object, in the correct order in this array? So I'm going to do that by, let's declare a row. Let's call this headers. Then let's map over headers. And we're going to return an array, but it's going to return each data header. And that will be the row, right? So map returns, map does not, it should. This should be an object, an array. It does not exist on type. Array. String maybe? Whoa, not strong. I think if I do array.string. Interesting. So when you pull this range and shift that off, you should be getting back an array. So then the generic is if you just use a capital T. That doesn't seem to work. What if I do any? If I do any for now, I guess it can be an array of any, even though it is an array of strings. Actually, I think that will work. Let me just pass in append row. What we're going to do is let's put this in a try catch so we can see what we're doing. And if the doesn't work, get sheet by name, logs, append row, and we want to do JSON.stringify I think that will make it easier for us to debug without having to open up the script editor all the time and checking logs. Because I have this logs sheet right here, specifically just for showing errors. Okay, where am I? So, I'm returning a status message, okay, but I got to return some sort of error, and I think there's a better way to streamline these error messages, but I'm going to come back to that. I'll just type fail, and everything did not go okay. I can probably create some kind of easier way to send a success message. And really, I think this is the same thing that I'm doing in my code. Yeah, I've got this success error. I was like playing around with enums and stuff, so I think I can actually put those into one specific file, maybe. But let's actually push that. Class push, class deploy. Did I create a script for that? No, I just have the Next.js scripts in there. All right, created version 36. Scripts may only have up to 20 version deployments at a time. I gotta go in and delete some of these things. So let's run this again. Yeah, see, I've got to go in and manually publish. Yeah, it's not on 36. It's like it's always like a one deployment behind. Let's see if, so I need to go into the front end of my code now. Let's go into Next.js. I've got a component for the calculator. And what I want to do is when you press calculate, it's going to set state to string, but I'm also going to put a date time. Let's put a and calc, and then let's do I need this the URL. Where am I? Where did I use it before? I used it in the survey form. Now I wonder, are there environment variables for Next.js? So I can, because there might be, see, I need to be able to import this. Let's just, what is it? Oh, env.config. This is for deployment of, this is for deployment of Next.js to GitHub Pages, and it's basically telling it that it's got this, you know, it's got to append a little bit of a snippet here. I wonder if I can put in, let's just create, no, I don't want, I want it to be called apps script URL. And I wonder if I can use that. I really feel like I should just create a just like a there we go. That's fine with me. There's no need to clutter up this file. That's for environment. But really, I wonder if I could add it to the process.env. I don't know how that works. I'm not going to mess with it right now. Let's do export. Const. So now in my calculator, I should be able to import that. Ooh, streaming really takes it out of my computer, doesn't it? Okay, so we need to do a little fetching here. Let's do fetch. Whoops. And then there's some params that I've got to put in there. And then we need to handle it then with a response. Console.log response. And we can add a catch to that. No. Why did it change then to catch? And we can, right now we'll just console that error, but we can handle that a little differently. Now this fetch, what I've done is, let's go back to the survey form. And what I've done here is to this backend URL, I'm using the fetch API, and you got to attach this these parameters to that. And what I'm realizing is, why don't I just why don't I just kind of break that out into its own file? Instead of having an app script config, I can do this better. Let's just do api.js. Let's do let's just create a function API that's going to take in data. It's going to return a new promise which has a resolve and a reject. And what we're going to do then is we're going to run this fetch. And why don't can I make it the promise itself async await? Which is weird. I haven't used async await enough either. Okay. Whoa. We did the F in function. I'm going to go ahead and export this. And instead of data, I want to stringify. Yeah, I'm passing two things. Sheet name, No, is that what I want? Wait, hold on. Yeah, sheet name and data. So here, ES6, we can just put in the sheet name, and then data. We're stringifying that, sheet name and data, perfect. But I've got to do something with the async here. I wonder if I could, instead of returning this new promise, if I could just async await this whole function. Is that how async await works? Like if I just async this, instead of returning. You know what, for simplicity's sake, I'll come back to that if I need to later, because what I'll do is then whatever it returns, it's going to resolve, and then catch is going to reject. I think that's easier to understand, but I'm not totally sure yet. I haven't made up my mind. I accept input from anyone who watches this. Oh, my stream, it's like, I wonder how bad the quality is because it's showing a red on my screen. That's annoying. But it says it is still streaming. Just really, really badly. Okay. Let's keep going. We won't use that for the first time in survey form. I'll do it in the calculator here. I don't need this file anymore. I'm going to import API from API. I'm going to delete this. And then in my calculator, I'm going to do, we're going to do await. And I got to make this async now because I'm returning a promise, so I can async await this. Await API, pass it calculator, and then the second is going to be data, and what I want to give it is timestamp. Let's do it like this: timestamp. And calc is going to be and let's see what we get there. I'm not going to do anything with the response just yet. Actually, why don't I? Why don't I? Alright, so now I've got something happening. Probably a bunch of errors, but that tends to happen when you're trying to incorporate this Google App Scripting stuff. So I've got that there. Did I push this before? What do you mean it's been updated? Let's see this. Hold on. Created version 37. Why is it saying that the manifest is updated? Huh. going to go in and delete a bunch of these versions. Yes, I don't know. Did I do something to the manifest? I don't think I did. Why is it saying I did? Who knows? Okay, so I'm going to take a look. See, it's saying 36. I should have now 38. Interesting. And if I go to my front end and go into the calculator, I've got this really ugly calculator. 98 plus 2 equals. What's going to happen here? Oh, did you see how it awaited there? Oh, I get the cores error. So, it's trying to hit the back end, but something failed. You know what I need? I need to add this timestamp and computation. That's definitely going to be a problem if it. Let's try again. Plus 50. What? Oh, it's not liking that 0. If I, that is an error that I am not handling very well. Okay. So I'm getting this cores error. So let's go back into AppScript. Let's go back down to my do post. And here's the thing. Of course it's not. Of course not. I'm not doing anything with it there. Okay, so I've got to move all of these things into their own files. Things are getting confused. Now, so for calculator, what I'm going to do is I want to, let's do, just like I did up here, I'm going to grab the sheet. So let's do this. If there's no sheet name, then we've got to return this, right? Okay. Then we're going to grab the sheet, right? Then I'm going to call this calc sheet, new, what did I call it before? Sheet values. Sheet, and we want to calc sheet.write, and I'm going to pass it in data. It's fine, and I think I want to return that, right? I'm going to go back and fix that survey form, because in here, right, I'm going to return, yes, something, status message, everything went okay. That's fine. And if I can get that to work, maybe I can go clean up, I'll spend the last few minutes cleaning up some code here. Now, the annoying part is actually deploying this. Push. Let me just deploy it and then I'll manually go in there. Oops, I already have it open. I don't need to verify there. I do need to deploy new version. And let's try -53. Response, yay! Okay, let's take a look. Though we don't have any values in the sheet itself. If I take a look at the logs, do I get nothing there? Okay. Don't need that open, but I seemed to have hit the endpoint, and I don't know why it's not giving me that timestamp. I'm getting a response, but is the response the correct one? So I want it to be calculator. I'm sending it, sheet name. Where am I here? Yeah, sheet name calculator. And then some data. Okay. And then here, so I declared that up at the top, right? Post, contents, sheet name, and data. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, the survey form data is not going to be, that's not going to be correct. Do you think that would have anything to do with, yeah, I want it to be so in TypeScript, I was doing some reading. There's a way to have, to declare the interface, but with any, like, let's see, let's go into the handbook here, interfaces. Okay, so these are how you create optional, optional properties. But what if you don't know the name? Like, I don't know the name of the, like, I'm going to create different properties. I want it to be like anything, right? So, okay, let's say this. However, a better approach might be to add a string index signature if you're sure that the object can have some extra parameter properties that are used in some special way. If square config can have color and width properties with the above types, but could also have any number of other properties, then we could define it like so. I like that. Yes, so I can do it this way. So instead of survey form data, I'll just call this interface. I'm going to kill this. I'm going to kill this. Response message is going to come from the sheet values class. My interface is going to be, I'll just capital D data. I think interface. So we're still going to get a sheet name. That's a string. And we're going to get data, which is going to be an object, right? What am I doing? This is post content. Data is going to be, I'm having a stroke right now. I literally just was looking at the docs and I forgot what I was doing. So we want to then call it prop, and that's going to be of type string, and then we're going to use type any. Now, can that be like any number of props? Can there be more than one of those? or is it stuck with just a single property? Back to the docs. Okay. Yeah, any number of properties, we could define it like so. Yeah, that works. That's what I want. And wait, I always want to have a timestamp property, and that's gonna always be, isn't it a string? Let's just leave that off for now. I don't need to specifically define it. This should be working. Let's get things working first. Let's clasp push into the cloud. I'm gonna run clasp deploy. Maybe it'll make it a little easier. Clasp push, clasp deploy. I don't know why it keeps asking me to update the manifest file. That's another thing about clasp I don't understand. Maybe if I mean, shoot, I don't know. I don't think I need to show it on here. So I should be deployed to create version 40. Okay, let's see if I broke this again. So let's add 25. Calculate. Okay, it did something. It hit the end, did some work, but it did not add them to the timestamp there. So I don't think it had anything to do with the types there. What am I doing wrong? Calc sheet, write data. Now, if I this is front end stuff. If I come back and fix all that later. I'm almost out of time here. Let's see here. I gotta write calc sheet, write data. I'm gonna take a look. What does it say on this end? Nothing. I'm not getting any message here. Just okay, true, status 200, true, true, true. Let me show these logs. I'm gonna start, or I can try to try to console log that. It hasn't. So let me try that again. Let's do times 2, calculate. Divide by 2. Getting a response. I'm not getting any sort of log. Why not? I don't know. I wonder if I can just add in logs here. I'm going to do that. Oh yeah, but then you still have to deploy for it to work. Ugh, deployment is so annoying. See, it's like it doesn't have that logger in there. It's like it hasn't gotten this version or something. Let me push that into the cloud. Tell me that I've updated my manifest file. Oh, it didn't. Interesting. Oh, yeah, there it goes. I'd like to figure that one out. There we go. Now it's got the logs. Interesting. I don't know why. It's like it's always one version behind what I think it is. Like when I hit deploy it. Okay, so what does it log? Nothing. Should be do post. But why? Why, oh why? Why, oh why? Yeah, it's not giving any values for some reason. It's not sending a status text. Where is this response coming from? I know where it's being printed from, but where is it coming from in my code? Is it, it's not making it this far. Fairly sure, because it's not getting that. It's not getting a log there. What if I what if I move this up? Oh, is it maybe coming from here? I bet this is where it's coming from. And then it's probably something up here maybe. Ugh, I don't know what it's doing. We're gonna find out though. And this, I don't like this. Why are you doing this? Manifest file has been updated. It hasn't been updated. So maybe do I have to commit everything? No, it's not modified. Refresh and see. See, Clasp is still created enough. There's still like enough things that I'm just not sure about with Clasp, but it makes it kind of frustrating. Okay, so it's got my log in there. Let's do new. Okay. And let's times it by 3. And let's see if it hit that catch statement. I bet it did. No, it didn't. It didn't give me any logs. Why not? Why not? Why not? feel like this is definitely, it's got to be the error that it's, I need to actually write to the spreadsheet. Get add to spreadsheet, get sheet by name, logs, and let's just append row. It has to be here. Divided by 3. Okay, see, it definitely is right there, but the error itself is not actually, you're not helping me with an error. So stringify, maybe this will give me a line. This will give me a line number if I'm lucky. And plus 55. I don't know why I'm choosing these numbers. Okay. Front end scripts code 57 in the do post. So that's where my error is coming in. So it's not liking this sheet values class. Interesting. Sheet values class. What is it? Okay, wait, hold on. I didn't read the whole error here. Sheet values class underscore. Of course it's not defined. Of course, what the heck? Okay. So this is similar to the error I was getting with the name of the class being the same as the name of the file, and you can't have that. This is a similar message. There's another thing I want to try here. When I was reading the docs, you can give it an order of, let's do clasp Google GitHub. Give me the GitHub page. You can specify an order that the files get uploaded, and that is definitely needed here. Well, at least I think. In the JSON. Yeah, file push order. Specifies the files that should be pushed first. Useful for scripts that rely. Yeah, file push order. So I want to do code.ts first, and then everything else after that. Is there an example of that? Oh, it's got to be an array. Okay. All right, let's try that again. Because like here it's showing I mean, I don't know. That could be it. Because it seems like you would need to have, yes, that's fine. Pushing these files first. Okay. All right. If I refresh this, what happens? Sheet values. Sheet values. Now in the code, is it saying sheet values _1 default sheet? is. But why is it saying that? New sheet values class. See, it's using the name of the file here. Instead of just sheet values. Ooh, this is a tricky one. This is when you run into problems, like as you're trying to learn something new, you run into a problem that's way beyond. Okay, so, but I think I'm close here. I should probably get the same error, but I just wanted to try it. Yeah. So if I try to do, if I go to line 57, and I just remove this, and then publish, I got 47. No, what am I doing there? Oh, then I got a cross origin error. And nothing printed to the console this time. Yeah, it's got something to do with this file name. I had a similar problem last week, and I'm gonna have to do some research, and I'm 15 minutes over my time here. I have got to get to work and pick this up tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have some time later today. I can do a little bit of reading, and then when I start tomorrow I can just debug this and get going again. So it's got something to do with this class name, right? Like, why is it transpiling to this _1, which seems to be the name of sheet values class here? Am I, you know what the, yeah, I'm importing sheet values from sheet values class. Import sheet values. Yeah, it's got something to do with that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some reading. I'll do some reading, and we're gonna pick this up tomorrow from this spot. Anyways, cheers. A couple people tuned in. Thanks, and feel free to comment. Tell me what you want to see, and if you happen to be a TypeScript master or a Clasp expert, hey, please chime in with your experiences. I'd love to learn from those. Cheers, everybody.